Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Hobo here today, and today I will be running through my NFL Week 1 predictions for every single matchup, every game, and yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm going to be trying to do this every week that I possibly can, so let's just get right into this with tomorrow night's game, the Super Bowl 50 rematch between the Panthers and the Broncos. As much as I would like to pick the Broncos due to favoritism, I have to pick the Panthers. They're just too good of a team right now compared to the Broncos anyway. So I got the Panthers going over the Broncos. I'm not going to give score predictions though. Yeah, I don't really feel like that's a good thing to do. So we're going to go Panthers over Broncos, then Buccaneers at Falcons. I'm not liking anything that the Falcons are doing offensively or defensively. And I really like Jameis Winston, and I like that Buccaneers defense, so I'm going to have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over Atlanta Falcons. Next, we have the Vikings and the Titans. The Vikings are probably going to play Sam Bradford week 1. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But their defense is really good. But I do like Marcus Mariota. I do like the weapons he has. I do like DeMarco Murray. So with that being said, I will pick the Titans to beat the Vikings in my upset alert of the week. That being said, moving on to the Browns at the Eagles, and this is going to be a very straightforward game. The Eagles will beat the Browns, and the Eagles will stomp the Browns into the turf, and it will not be pretty. That's just my estimation. So the Eagles will defeat the Browns in very glorious fashion. Bengals Jets. Bengals will pull this one out. Andy Dalton, too good of a quarterback. Their defense really solid when it plays the way that it should. The Jets, they've got a lot. They're like a boat with holes in it, and once you patch one hole, another hole pops up, and you can never stop that hole from you can never stop that boat from sinking. There you go. You can never stop that boat from getting another hole in it and sinking, filling up with water. So that's why I got the Bengals going with the Jets. Raiders Saints. Raiders got to go over the Saints in this game. The Saints have not proven anything since last year. Drew Brees, he's really fallen off. I know he signed that one-year deal, but Drew Brees has fallen off a cliff, and I don't think that he can return to his Super Bowl winning days, especially not against the Raiders. And the Raiders are a really good-looking team. A lot of you probably scoff at that, saying, "Oh, the Raiders? What are you talking about, Hobo, you idiot? The Raiders are terrible." No, the Raiders are going to be a force in that. What is it? AFC West? I think it is AFC West or South or something like that. I don't care. But they're going to be a good team regardless. And that's why the Raiders will beat the Saints here in week 1. Chargers Chiefs. This one is not even a close matchup to me. The Chiefs will wash the Chargers all the way up and down Arrowhead. And it's just like that Eagles-Browns game. It's not going to be very pretty. And the Chiefs, in my estimation, are going to put up a lot of points against the Chargers. So start all of your Chiefs players this week on fantasy football. Start all of your Eagles players on fantasy football, because those guys are going to have very big days. Chiefs over Chargers. Bills at Ravens next. You know what? This one is kind of a toss-up for me. And I really have no expert opinion on really who I think is going to win. Someone's going to come out and say that I think that the Bills will end up beating the Ravens. Maybe by a field goal, maybe by less, maybe by 2 points, maybe by a touchdown, or maybe even by 14. I don't know. These two teams, I feel like, are probably the best matchup all week long, and it's going to be a fun game to watch. Bills-Ravens. Could be a nice defensive game as well. That being said, let's move on to Bears-Texans. In my opinion, the Texans will they will beat the Bears. Not as bad as maybe Chiefs beating the Chargers or Eagles beating the Browns, but the Texans will beat the Bears, and it will be by a wider margin than many maybe predict. Brock Osweiler, I do predict him to have a big day. I do predict Brock to have a nice day for himself. Bears defense, it's like the Jets. It's like that boat that keeps getting the holes in it. Once you plug one up, another one just sprouts up. You never know what you're really doing if you're the Bears defense. And the Bears offense, they concern me. Jay Cutler is not a very good quarterback. That's just plain simple fact. That's a fact of life. When Jay Cutler's on the field, interceptions are thrown. So, Texans over Bears. Next up, we have the Packers at the Jaguars rather. Packers at Jaguars. And the Jaguars, they are a solid team. A lot of you, again, like with the Raiders statement earlier, will scoff at me and call me a stupid idiot because it's the Jaguars. Name association aside, if you look at the pure talent on that roster, they have a chance to beat the Packers. But with that being said, the Packers do also have Aaron Rodgers at the helm. So Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will beat the Jaguars here in Week 1, especially with the re-addition of Jordy Nelson coming back from the ACL tear. It's just really, really hard to not pick the Packers in that game. So that's why they're going to beat the Jaguars. Dolphins, Seahawks. The Seahawks have really, they've fallen off since Super Bowl 48. Or 49, was it? Whatever, I don't care. The last Super Bowl they were in with the Patriots, they've fallen off for sure. But they still have a defense that should be respected by every offense in the league and should not be overlooked. The Seattle Seahawks defense is still one of the best defenses in the NFL. Also, Russell Wilson is still playing at a top level. He can carry that team to wins in games that they shouldn't win. And in my estimation, Russell Wilson versus Ryan Tannehill, the Seahawks defense versus the Dolphins defense, it's not a matchup. The Seahawks are going to beat the Dolphins one way or the other. However they do it, they will end up beating the Dolphins. Next, we have the Giants at the Cowboys. All personal bias aside, I'm going to give my analysis here. The Cowboys don't have Tony Romo. They've got a rookie, Dak Prescott, who has never really had play specifically designed for him. He's never had a read or quote-unquote real NFL defense in the fact that I mean a defense that's schemed up in order to specifically throw the quarterback off of his game and try to create all mismatches and create different looks that maybe Dak Prescott or any quarterback will not be able to pick up on. And since he's a rookie, he's the first rookie the Giants have faced in an opening game since I think the 1970s. So it's going to be a very tough mountain to climb for the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Giants, who spent $200 million on their defense. And if the preseason is any indication as to how the Giants defense will play this season, they are a top 15 defense in the NFL. And that's where the Giants need to be at realistically to go to the playoffs, to have a top 15 defense. If they have that, they win the NFC East. Bare minimum. They will win the NFC East with a top 15 defense. And the Giants offense still as explosive as ever. They're fixing the pieces that they need to fix in the offensive line. They're confident in their guys, and that's the best thing. If a team is confident in their players, the players, in my opinion anyway, will play better because they know that they have the team backing them. That being said, also, Eli's got his big weapons. He's got Victor Cruz returning. Who knows if he's going to be back to 2011 form, but he's still got Victor Cruz back, who is going to draw some looks. Sterling Shepard, who's the big rookie. Odell Beckham Jr. You guys don't even need an explanation as to Odell Beckham Jr. Eli's got a lot of weapons. He's got Rashad Jennings and Shane Vereen in the backfield. The Cowboys, they have Des Bryant, and that's really it. Ezekiel Elliott, he could be a threat. I don't really see him having a fantastic day against the Giants defense unless he bounces it outside to Jason Pierre-Paul's side of the line. And the reason I say that is we still don't know how Jason Pierre-Paul will function without that club. If he'll do better, if he'll do worse, if the surgery to repair the tendons in his hand to make him be able to move his hand again worked properly, if he can perform at 100%, if he can be back to, like I said with Victor Cruz, that 2011 level. But all that being said, the Giants will beat the Cowboys here in the opening game for the first time in who knows how long. But Giants will pull this one out. The Cowboys are they're a ripe, raw team, and they're too inexperienced to be winning big games like this against big time challengers like the New York Giants. Lions at Colts. This one honestly has me thinking a little bit. I don't know how Andrew Luck is going to do. Is he fully healed from his injuries? Will his offensive line hold up for more than 2 seconds and allow Andrew to even get through his third progression? Is Andrew Luck going to have to scramble out of the pocket for his life like a chicken with his head cut off the entire game? What is going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen with that Colts offense. We don't know. And it's very scary. Because if Andrew Luck goes down, that team is in serious trouble like they were last year. Also, I don't know who the Colts defense is. Who is their defense? Do they really have an identity on the defensive side? Are they a run-stuffing team? Are they a team that plays the pass very well? Do they have good linebackers who can adjust coverages and stuff the run, and also as well go back and cover tight ends? Can they do all that? I don't know. I don't know who this Colts defense is, but the Lions, they've got good impact players. Ziggy Ansah on defense. That's just one name that sticks out to me on their defense. On their offense, they got Matt Stafford, who's a very intelligent quarterback who, if given time, can find receivers and can make big plays. And with that being said, the Lions are going to beat the Colts here in this game. And that's just the way that it's got to be to me anyway. The Lions will beat the Colts, and then that's just going to be that. Our primetime game for this week, the New England Patriots will take on the Arizona Cardinals, and one of the more intriguing matchups of the week. Obviously, because of the whole Chandler Jones trade to Arizona, and with Jimmy Garoppolo starting the first 4 games of the season, and by that measure alone, the Cardinals will beat the Patriots because Tom Brady is not playing. I know that that's kind of a wishy-washy, not straight to the point kind of an answer, but without Tom Brady, the Patriots, I don't think can muster offense. Sure, Garoppolo's looked good in the preseason, but that's preseason. We're talking preseason ball versus one of the biggest games of the season here in opening day, in prime time, no less, against a big-time challenger to the NFC Championship in the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be a real tough thing for the Patriots to do to beat the Cardinals, especially with the questions on their offensive line for the Patriots and their defense. They really don't have an identity either. Sure, Malcolm Butler, he's a stud. He's a good kid when it comes to playing the pass. As we saw, obviously, in that Super Bowl when he picked off Russell Wilson, he's got the intelligence and the intangibles to be a big-time corner in this league. Better than a corner who I'm going to mention in the next game, but yeah, Cardinals going to beat the Patriots. There we go. That's just my evaluation of that game. Next up, our Monday night games. The Steelers at the Redskins. Okay. I'm going to throw a little personal bias in here. Obviously, if you don't already know, I'm a New York Giants fan, so that's why I threw my bias out the. I'm going to throw my bias out the window for all Giants games, but there may be some bias involved in Eagles and Redskins games, but no promises, and Cowboys games, no promises though. The Redskins. The thing is with Josh Norman, he is a good cornerback. He's on a Brandon Carr level of good cornerback. Brandon Carr, obviously the cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. He's on that level. He's not on a Richard Sherman level. He's not even on a Richard Sherman level. Nowhere close in my estimation to a Richard Sherman level. That being said, the only reason why Josh Norman had a good year last year with the Panthers is because of the linebacker and defensive line play, which he is not even going to be able to mimic to a tenth of the degree in Washington. Washington's defense is really poor. It is. And they don't have big impact players, and you look at Josh Norman's name sticks out, but I just labeled that out to you why Josh Norman is not going to be a factor against the Steelers. He really cannot be, especially if they line him up against Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown will embarrass Josh Norman, and he will expose him as just a mediocre to good cornerback in the NFL. That also being said, Ben Roethlisberger is slinging the ball, and he will be slinging it to Antonio Brown, and that's all you need to know. when it's Big Ben and AB versus a mediocre defense, Big Ben and AB tend to win those games. So Steelers over Redskins here in Week 1. Our final game of the week, and it's also a Monday game, the Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are going to win. That's all I got time for. The Rams are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know. I don't really know. we all know how well the 49ers did last season, and that's not very well. Their defense was terrible. Their offense couldn't get anything going. But the Rams, they've got that Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, who is an absolute beast of a player. He can get to the quarterback of the deep defensive tackle position. He can stop the run. He's just an all-around excellent player. And I don't remember, in my lifetime anyway, seeing a defensive tackle as dominant as Aaron Donald. I'm sure any team, any of the other 31 teams in the NFL would love to have Aaron Donald on their squad because of how good that kid is. He alone can help shut down the game for the 49ers and help shut down their offense. And the Rams' defense isn't bad. They're a good unit on defense. With that being said, the Rams are going to beat the 49ers, and that's just how it is. So hope that you guys enjoyed this Week 1 NFL predictions video. If you guys want me to do more of these, which I'm going to do anyway, make sure to tell me about it in the comment section below. Leave a like as well if you did enjoy this video. And yeah, please spark some debate in the comments, because I wanna be able to challenge you guys a little bit on your football knowledge and see if we can have some educated debates in the comment section. That also being said, please make sure to hit the subscribe button for more wonderful content like this. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and that's going to do it for me, your boy Hobo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.